Hey Brian, it's Stefan. How are you? Um, so I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet. I'm sure I can go off in a lot of different directions, but I'm just going to sort of wing it. And if you like, I can do a deep dive on anything you want. So right now you see me, but you also see I've got two displays open. One has got the spreadsheet that you sent me with the zones. The other one's got Google Maps. By the way, I always recommend, I've got three monitors here. I recommend you get at least two if you can at work, but I think you're with one, so you're going to be switching tabs or whatever, however you work. So I just want to show you how easy it is. Well, once you know how, it's easy to create kind of a map that drivers can follow, and you can send them easily just by sharing them with them. So I'm going to start here. So this is a spreadsheet that you sent me on the left, which I brought into Google Sheets. By the way, I recommend using kind of the web version of, I think you're using Excel. I like Sheets, they're both great, but I recommend using the cloud version, the one that runs in the web, but I could talk about that some other time. And then on the right, I have Google Maps. Okay, so this is Aylmer here. So first thing you do to create, we're going to create what's called a list. Is go into the menu, see the hamburger menu, or I don't know if they call that a hamburger menu, but it's got three little lines. So you click there and you go into saved. So once you're there, you're going to have different areas. So as you can see, I already have some maps here. I have my visited areas, labeled areas, and I have what's called lists. And I think lists are probably very appropriate for this. So we're going to create a new list. And the list will consist of, well, let's call it CAA Zone 1. Create. So we have Zone 1, put in a description, and now we can add a place to Zone 1. So we can take one of these addresses, copy, and then paste. And right away we've added 78 Pearson to Zone 1. And so we can continue doing that. Add a place, paste, and then we choose it. And then we've added another one, and we can add comments to each of these, which is very useful. Because what's nice about this is this you can send to the driver, and the driver has it right on their phone or however they're working. So we'll add another one here, add a place. There we go. So it's on, and the driver can now look at the map and see where these places are. We got one up here, and then one down here. No, that's wrong. Forget that. We go back here. If I click on, I'm jumping ahead, so forget what I just did. And I'm going to add the last few here. So add that one. So once you've added all of your list, your addresses to a specific list, which we've just called Zone 1, it's actually saved to your account in the cloud on in your Google account. So I'm assuming you have one. If you don't, uber highly recommend you have one for anything, for everything, anything related to Google. Okay, so I've added them all, and now it's auto-saving, so they're all being saved into CAA Zone 1. If I go back here, there's my CAA Zone 1, and there are all my addresses, and I can click on each one in the list and look at it, make changes, add a note. I even get a little preview of what the street view looks like, really helpful for drivers. And look at that, we even have a share. So I can click share. Now in this case, I can invite you to edit my list. Not sure if we want to do that. I don't know if you want to create the lists. I can create the lists and share them with you. We can work either way. But for now, I'm going to show you how easy it is to share it. So I'm going to say send link, and then this is going to send a link to that list. Obviously, we don't want to put it on Facebook, but we may want to send it in an email. In this case, I'm going to say get link to a share, to this share. So I've copied, it's created a link. Now I copied it to my clipboard, and then I could paste it in an email. But actually, I can just click Gmail here, and it's going to generate an email from me with the list. So I'm going to send it to myself, which is kind of silly, but I'm going to do it. See zone one and Zen. And now I've just received, if I look at my emails, this is, I did it previously. So this is the email I just got. CAA Zone 1 in Google Maps, and I can click there, and it opens up, and I have all my little spots. They're all there. And if I was on my cell phone checking my email, can you see me? So I don't know if you can see that. But anyhow, if I open that email while I'm driving, not touching the phone, of course, I'll use my voice. No, it's in a dock, so it's very safe. And you can see Zone 1 just came up, and I've got my list here. And we could even use this to communicate any special notes about the address. I mean, all that stuff's really useful for drivers. So I think we should do this for every zone, and it's easy to update them and change them. Yeah, so that's about it. I'm going to wrap it up right there. Just one last note on. If I go back to, let's see here, the spreadsheet, we can talk about this, but I really do recommend you use a cloud-based storage. But of course, this would, I think, apply probably across the organization at CAA. But I've had very limited success in doing it, having influence there. So I don't know if for yourself if you could make use of that, because I think it really helps productivity and sharing information, and it's very safe. So that's all I'm going to say about that. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to shoot. That's it. Have a good day. Bye-bye.